Que la que mi gente, Gran Pachilo here, bringing you another meta report, this time covering the entirety of the EX6 format along with some major events that happen here in Puerto Rico. So let's get right into it. Now, these stats were pulled directly from 4 different stores in Puerto Rico. From left to right, we got Tower Games, Titan Games, Gamers Cave, and House of TCG. And what we saw was that the most representation out of all the wins, all the tops, was Imperial Dramon Blue Green and Numemon. And they are really closer to 20 instead of 10. Imperial got a total of 18 tops in the representation, and following we got Numemon with 16, and the difference between those and those below aren't even close. Like it's absurd. It's absurd. Next up, we got the 7th grade Demon Lords deck with 7 tops, then Magnamon X following with 6. Below that, we got Tyrant and Yellow Armor Vaccine. Tyrant went 5 tops, and Yellow Armor Vaccine with 4. Following that, we got Imperial Red Purple. All those 3 tops are from my teammate Justin, who has been grinding that deck. And then followed by that, we got the Aboromon with 3, and also Rapidmon X Tribal with 3 also, followed by Mirage and Bloomlord, both with 2 tops each. And for the rest of the section, we got a 1 top representation from each of them. We got Phoenix, we got Fenrilugamon, we got Vaccine Angels with Dominimon, we got Dorugora, Royal Knights, Cherubi, Alliance, and then Shine Greymon, Belphamon, Blue Flare, Hunters, an unknown X-Antibody deck who the owner refused to share due to thinking he had the sauce, and then Security Control. So this is the overall spread. As I mentioned, it was a huge domination between Imperial and Numemon, and although Imperial is a really strong deck, there are also a lot of Imperial Dramon fans in Puerto Rico and in the stores who like to play competitively, so that also raises the numbers. But the difference between Imperial Dramon Blue Green and Numemon compared to the rest of the decks is just really absurd. So this is the final spread for EX6. And I thought we'd cover some major events that happened, so let's get right to it. One of the first major events held here in Puerto Rico was the House of TCG Win a Half Case tournament, where ultimately Night Slayers took first and second with the Extenders Data Squad right below third and fourth. The top 8 decks was the spread: 2 Magnamon X, 2 Numemon, 1 Bloomlord, 1 the Aboromon, 1 Imperial Dramon, a Blue Green, and 1 Mirage. So as I mentioned, first was KSC with Magnamon X, then Numemon, following with the Extenders right on their heels with Mirage and Magnamon X. Those are Leo and Alfredo. Next up, we got Pancho from Numemon. He got featured recently in the last video from Numemon versus the Aboromon. Next up, we got Josue from Shinsengumi with the Aboro. He's a beast. And then Testalos, I believe he's a regular from House of TCG. He kind of religiously plays Bloomlord and does it well, so he managed to top by Bloomlord. And then another Extenders member, Homie, with Imperial Dramon Blue Green. And the other major event held in Puerto Rico for the EX6 format was the Titan Games 3v3 Win a 600 tournament. So this essentially was during the last week of the EX6 format, I believe. Everyone had already settled on their picks. And for our top 4 teams, we had KSE Casuals with Tyrant Kabuterimon, Imperial Dramon Red Purple, and Numemon. Those were my homies. We got first place on that tournament. Next up, on the second place, we got another Night Slayers team, which was Phoenixmon, Numemon, and Imperial Dramon Blue Green. After that, we got Team MMB, which is an Extenders team with Tyrant Kabuterimon, Imperial Dramon Blue Green, and the 7th grade Demon Lords. And on the 4th place, we got another Extenders team with Magnamon X, Imperialdramon Blue-Green, and Fenrilugamon. So the top 4 decks spread were as follows. We got 3 Imperialdramon Blue-Greens, 2 Tyrant Kabuterimons, 2 Numemon, 1 Imperialdramon Red-Purple, 1 Phoenix, 1 7 Great Demon Lords, 1 Magnamon X, and 1 Fenrilugamon. And I was able to get like the total spread of players in this tournament. We got a total of 9 teams with 27 players. And the spread of decks, the one we most saw was Imperialdramon Blue-Green with 4 players, then Tyrant Kabuterimon with 3, followed by Numemon with 3 also, then 2 Phoenixmon, 2 Fenrilugamon, 2 7 Great Demon Lords, 2 Rapidmon X, 1 Imperial Red-Purple, 1 Magnamon X, 1 Ragnalordmon, 1 Yellow Vaccine Angels with the Minimon, 1 Grey Snowamon, 1 Royal Knights, 1 Leopardmon X, 1 Mirage Gaugamon, and 1 Diaboromon. I thought it would be nice to get the top 4 teams list all together. So for the first place, we got, as I mentioned, our team, KSC Casuals, which I was a part of. Michael was running on the left, you see Tyrant Kabuterimon. It's a pretty semi-standard list. It does run the promos, does run the Grand Kuwaga, the Tyrants, that's bread and butter. But we do see Digimon Emperor here at 2 copies to hold the Flood, and also a lowered count of rookies. But we do have a increased number of searching. We got 3 Green Memory Boosts and 3 trainings, so that shouldn't be too bad on missing the rookies. And then on the middle, we got my other teammates list. Jeltsin, as I mentioned, he has been grinding with Imperial Red-Purple, and this is the deck he came up with. It does have 2 VMons from the BT12 set. Those are supposed to be 2 BT12 Wormmons, but he couldn't find them at the moment. And then the DigiX, he ran Koromon, but in reality, you should be running Minomon. He was able to get the Minomons after the tournament, so now he has a pretty devastating list. But overall, you see it runs 4 of the promo Shadowmon, 4 of the new Dino B. In total, he's running 9 level 5s just to make sure he sees one at least in trash or hand. And then for the level 6 spread, you know, he's running the Dragon mode from EX3 at 4 copies. That's the one that basically clears the board. Kind of like a Shu Kiaomon effect where it deletes, basically leaves one thing standing on the board. And then when it can also blitz, and when attacking, you can digivolve into a fighter mode, I believe. And then for the fighter mode spread, he isn't running any of the EX3 fighter modes because BT12 fighter mode does the job so well that you end up going for blitz with fighter mode at like 3 checks for like 19-20k DP, which is just absurd. And he also has the fighter mode ace just in case things get a little rowdy. He's running 4 of the Davis and Ken from BT16, which is the one that sets up basically all the DNAs because you get the rookies free. And then 3 Analog Youth and 2 Wisdom Training. And next up, we got my own list for Numemon. It's a pretty standard list, bread and butter Numemon. At this point, there's not much to innovate on the list. What I have to say, we got 13 level 4s with 1 Garamon from the BT15 set being the extra. I believe it's BT15 or BT16, one of the two. 4 and 4 Ukos, 2 and 2 Floodgates. The level 5 Shebang with 3 Edamons for the 3 Valkies. The Ruin mode, the Death X, the 1 copy of Digimon Emperor for mirrors. There's not really much to talk about. It's just a standard Numemon list, but it does get the job. Next up, in second place, we got the second Night Slayers team from Night Slayers. We got Carlos on Phoenixmon, Angel Agrinsoni on Numemon, and then we got Joshua going by Mangu and with Imperial Dramon blue green. First off, from Carlos on the left, we got a pretty much standard Phoenixmon list. We do see the inclusion of one copy of Valkyriemon Ace, but the rest of the deck is pretty straightforward. He is running though 9 level 5s. He's running, in this version, he is running the Christie Daemon package with the corresponding Biyomon to combo with the Christie, and also 4 Soras and 2 Akihos, Trainings, Crimson Blaze. There's not really much to, there's not too many texts on this list, but it is a absolute beast. I believe it did beat Magna X and some other big threats on the tournament. Phoenixmon is so slept on, but it's sad that when BT17 hits now, and we are just entering BT17, Phoenixmon will get ultimately eclipsed by other decks, and it'll basically be a non-competitor for the top meta. But then we got in the middle the Numemon list from Sony. It's almost the exact same list that I am running, but he is running 3 and 1 of the Floodgates, 3 Shumon, 1 Shikurimon. He's running 2 Edamon instead of 3 to increase the Venusmon amount, and that's essentially it. Besides those differences, it's the same list. As I mentioned, Digimon. As I mentioned, Numemon is, at the moment, there's not really much to innovate. The deck has been pretty much optimized to its point, and it's just a deck that gets the job done. It's a really strong deck. And on the right, we got Joshua with a blue-green Imperial Dramon. This list is pretty balanced. We see the Vmon and Weremon ratios mainly. The 4 searchers are pretty much the most important ones. And then we see the level 4 spread pretty balanced, 4-2, 4-2. Then we see the level 5s with 4-2, pretty balanced. Then we got the fighter modes, the dragon modes, and the fighter mode aces. And for those, I'm not an Imperial Dramon player. I don't know very well the ratios, but it's interesting to see 3 of the dragon mode and 2 and 2 of the fighter modes. But I do understand that fighter mode ace is just strong. Even if you don't have the dragon mode, you can still abuse him if you leave a Pilgrimon on the field. And besides that, you see the 4 Davis and Kens, 2 Davis, 2 of the options of the Dragon Insect Fusion, and 1 Gigadeath. With the Demivimon Baby, I believe that's the one that lets you draw if you have free, something like that. I believe it lets you draw or something. Now next up in 3rd place, we have the Team MMB Extenders team. But sadly, I wasn't able to get all their lists. I just got the Imperial Dramon list from Juanma, which was a team captain. But I gotta say, this list is really all over the place. We got a lot of one-offs, a lot of random options. It's teching for everything, compromising a lot of consistency. You see the Vmon spread pretty normal. We got 1, 2, and 4. 4 of the searcher is just needed every time. And then we got 1 Wormo from BT16, 1 Wormon from the promo, and 3 of the Wormon searchers. And for our level 4s, we got 3 different XVmons, and then for the Sting Monks, it's just 2 and 4. Then for the level 5s, we have 4, 2, and 1. And then for our level 6s, we got 2 of the Ace Fighter, 2 of the Dragon Mode from BT16, 1 of the BT12 Fighter, and 1 of the Imperial Dramon Dragon Mode from, I believe that's the Star Deck one, who plays a level 4 and 3. And then we also got a Death X mod on the list, because why not? Then for Davis, 1 of the old dual Tabor Davis, who lets you unsuspend if you Digiball into a dual color. 1 Davis Searcher. We got a Mega Death, a Giga Death, an Ice Wall, and a Dragon Insect Fusion, and 2 Hammer Sparks, because why not? And then for our Digigigs, I was looking at it and I was like, what? We got 3 Demi Vmons, one from, I forgot which set was that, but we got 1 Demi Vmon from BT16 and 1 Minomon from BT16, 5 DigiEggs in total, but 3 different types of eggs. So, I mean, if it worked for him, he was able to get his team in the 3rd place spot. So, if it worked to him, hey, let him be happy. But overall, those are the lists. We also got Antonio with Tyrant Kabuterimon and Phoenix with 7 Great Demon Lords. But as I mentioned, I wasn't able to get a hold of them to get their deck list. So maybe next time. But I did wanted to shout them out. Now for the 4th place team, we got another Extenders team, which is formed by Alfredo, Leo, and Homie, the team captain. Homie also got a top 8 placement in the last regionals, so congrats to him on the top 8 placement and getting his invite and his serial Omnimon. In this tournament, they got 4th place. I couldn't get a hold of Alfredo or Homie for the list, but I did get a hold of Leo for his Fenrir Lugamon list. I did want to shout them out though. So Leo, we got a... I mean, to me it looks pretty standard, but I'm not a Fenrir Lugamon player. I do like the deck, but I never really got into it. We got 7 rookies with 3 of the BT16 Lugamon, then 4 of the, I think it's BT16, or maybe it's BT15, whatever. And then 4 of the BT14 Lugamon, and then 3 Ukos. We got 11 rookies, but in reality, the only rookie you need to see is a Lugamon that sets up your AG. And if you don't have it, then sure, go for the other Luga. And if you don't have it, then search for it with the Uko. But in reality, the most important one is the BT14 Lugamon. Then we got 2 Tyrannimons, 4 Lugarmons, and 3 Lugarmons from BT14, 1 Black Catamon, and 1 Sethmon as a tech. And then for our level 5s, we got 4 of the new Salugarmon, 3 of the Helugarmon, and 2 Dino Bees. We got 9 level 5s. Then 4 of the Fenrir Lugamon, no other level 6s. 1 Death Exmon. Then we got 4 of the AG, which has to be in the deck, 4 AGs. Then 3 Analog Use, 4 Wisdom Trainings, 1 Purple Memory Boost, 2 Crimson Blazes, and 1 Calling from Darkness, together tying it up the DigiEgg with the Bowmon from BT14, which is the only Bowmon we have until BT17, which is launching basically on Friday. But again, shout out to the Extenders for getting 3rd and 4th, and to Homie for getting the top 8 placement on the last online regionals for NA. So congrats to them, and congrats to Homie. Now going back to the overall top 4 representation, for my predictions for BT17, I do believe Imperialdramon and Nomemon will hold strong in the BT17 format in Puerto Rico, especially with the new support for Imperialdramon coming in. But I do expect maybe Magna X to fall down a little, and we got the new inclusions of Ancient Garurumon, which will be up there with Imperial and Nume. And we got Ancient Greymon also, which I believe will be with Demon Lords maybe, or with Tyrant. But I know those decks will perform very well. Maybe the Aboromon will move up a bit, but I doubt it. And then I'm excited to see what other things come up with the Red Purple Imperialdramon, with the new inclusions of the Imperialdramon option and the Paladin mode Ace from BT17. I've seen what the deck can do in BT17, and I'm excited to see its performance. I believe Tyrant will stay around also. And I expect Dorugoromon to actually be way higher. In the EX6 format got 1 top, but for BT17 with the new Dexmon support, I expect it to be at least on the 4-5 range, if not higher. I know there are a few fanboys for Dorugoromon in Puerto Rico, so I'm counting on you. And maybe Shangri-Mon will go up a bit also with the new support. Who knows? But Also, oh, I forgot to mention Fenrir is getting the Takami Kasuchi. It's basically going to be two different Fenrir decks. We got the DNA version and the straight Fenrir version. I'm excited to see which of those prevails more. And I expect them to perform better than when they did in EX6. So be on the lookout for those. But overall, those are my predictions. If you enjoyed the content, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell to get notified when new videos come up. I will be trying to keep a schedule and keep uploading for you guys. So let me know if you enjoy this sort of type of report content for a Puerto Rico environment, and then let me know what other content you'd like to see. So, anywho, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.